Hey guys, this is going to be a quick video response to a YouTube user whose name I can't quite remember at the moment, and since I'm not home, I can't really mention it. In any case, I'm gonna link her video down in the description box. The video has received a lot of negative feedback that I think was kind of unnecessary. You don't really need to give negative feedback just because you don't agree with with certain points. Rather, if the video was bad or if it was disrespectful, then it deserves negative feedback. In any case, um, the title of this video is "Atheists Don't Exist," and I'm gonna try to demonstrate her argument here to the best of my ability. She says that atheists don't exist because atheists say that there is no God. And in order to say this, you need to possess all of the knowledge in the entire universe and to know everything that's going on in the universe ever since it was created, or even before it was created. And since no atheist possesses this knowledge, or in fact no human possesses this knowledge, therefore atheists cannot exist. Now, first of all, point number one, right off the bat, there's a serious problem with the main premise of this argument, which is atheists say that God doesn't exist, or that there is no God, the way you worded it. To be honest, the vast majority of atheists I've encountered actually do not use that kind of term, and that doesn't even describe their position at all. It describes mine, because I do think that there is no God, and I think that, God is bullshit, religion is just a man-made construct, and so forth. And I know this. I know this for sure. And we're going to get to that later, but and why I think it's justified. But for now, not all atheists think that there is no God. The vast majority of atheists I've encountered actually say that they simply don't believe in God. Such as if I would tell you that I have the ability to turn invisible whenever I feel like it, would you believe me? Now, if you say that I cannot do that, then you can't do that unless you possess certain knowledge that I cannot do that, which you don't. You just simply reject the statement of mine, and you just don't believe it. You don't believe I can turn invisible, which is a rational position to hold, since from your experience, most people cannot turn invisible, even though I specifically can. Anyway, back to point number one. Most atheists just simply reject the claim that a God exists, so they don't need to possess any knowledge whatsoever. You need to provide them with knowledge of the existence of a God in the form mostly of evidence in order to convince them that a God does exist, in which case they will believe in God. And it has really nothing to do with knowledge whatsoever. And since we're talking about knowledge, that brings me to point number two. You speak about knowledge as if it's some kind of tangible thing. And in fact, it's not only a mistake that you make, but most people make. I've even philosophers and atheists make this argument, this kind of mistake as well. Knowledge isn't some kind of tangible thing. It isn't something that exists. It's not like some kind of entity. Knowledge isn't just waiting there for us to discover it. It's not like some kind of thing that exists on its own, waiting for people to just find it out. Knowledge is generated by people. Knowledge changes. Knowledge is simply the methods that we use to figure out patterns in the predictable universe that we live in. At some given point, humanity figured out that the universe has certain predictable factors in it, starting with the day-night cycle and the seasonal cycle and all that kind of stuff. From there, it started, and it allowed people to gain knowledge about the universe. Now, this knowledge has changed over the years, obviously, and there will never be a point at which all of the knowledge in the universe can ever be discovered, since it's something that develops as humans gain more information about the universe and our surroundings. And knowledge has changed and has been proven wrong in the past, and our knowledge updates. So there's no such thing as possessing all of the knowledge in the universe. So now, that also brings me to point number 3 now, which is why I think that it is fair to say that there is no God, and why I think that it's actually the rational position to hold. Do you require all of the knowledge in the universe in order to say that there is no Santa, that there is no Peter Pan, that there is no Mecha Streisand, or whatever the fuck you can imagine? You don't need all the knowledge in the universe to say that these things don't exist. All you need is to know how the universe operates, and things that violate the way that the universe operates are by definition don't exist. Because the universe is predictable, we have found nothing so far that goes against the predictability of the universe. We didn't find any object made out of atoms that is not affected by gravity. So, Peter Pan doesn't exist. Also, we know the origins of all of these ideas, in exactly the same way that we know the origins of the idea of God, which is basically, it started off as the idea of multiple gods, and at some point evolved into a monotheistic religion, and from that point on, different theologians and philosophers have refined the idea of God into what it is today, which is this all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving being that pretty much eludes every single scientific test you can ever give it. Pretty much the only definition of God that everybody can agree on is that you can never test whether or not he exists. Kind of conveniently, though. So, why is it that in order to say that there is no Peter Pan, I do not require all of the knowledge in the universe, and neither do you? And to say that there is no Santa, that there is no Thor, and that there is no flying spaghetti monster, I do not require all of the knowledge in the universe. But to say that this other being called God, that also defies everything we know about the universe, he does exist, and that to say that he doesn't requires all of the knowledge in the universe, that doesn't really make any sense to me, and it's kind of a double standard if you ask me. So, I would like you to actually respond to this video. I would like to know, why is it that you think that God is any different from Peter Pan and Santa, in that in order to say that God doesn't exist, I need all of the knowledge in the universe, but you can say with confidence that Peter Pan is just a man-made construct, that Santa is just something that people made up. What is the major difference between these things that makes God exempt from the same standards of evidence and knowledge that we require from Peter Pan, Santa, Thor, and the Flying Spaghetti Monster? Have a nice day, guys.